Alright, internet, this is my daily video journal on the cryptocurrency markets. This is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my personal journal, so just please keep that in mind. I'm not even a profitable trader yet, but I'm going to be. I know I will be very soon. I can feel it. So Bitcoin had a decent move to the top here. It came and pulled back down here and hit the top of this range. And what I'm trying to figure out here is if this high is going to hold, right? If this was the top, or if we're going to blast through this after a pullback, if we're going to distribute and then come back down, maybe into here somewhere. That's kind of the thing that I'm wondering right now. So my bias for day is, right now I don't really have too much of a bias. My bias, it's almost like sideways with an underlying bullishness, because if you check the CVDs, you can see that both spot and futures have been buying here, especially spot. Spot has been buying healthily throughout this range. Futures has actually been kind of holding down the market right here. And you can see once futures started bidding right here, that's when you really had that blast off here. And you can really see in the basis when the bidding for futures really started to pick up, when it started to increase, right? So now we're having a little bit of a pullback. Another thing that's interesting is there was a ridiculous amount of open interest that opened up on this move up. That does make me think that we're going to get some sort of pullback, especially if these were all longs that opened up at the top here. Okay, going to be watching to see. Look, it already looks like we've had long liquidations on these tiny moves back. Looking to see most of this leverage cleared out before we get like a definitive move. If this is longs, right? If this is longs, then as price grinds down, I want to see open interest kind of get squeezed out, right? As all those positions get squeezed out. If these are shorts, however, though, then we should see price just kind of consolidate here before making another leg up. Okay, if I check the if I check funding, okay, you can see that huge increase in open interest. Funding was kind of, looks like it was increasing here and kind of trading sideways, but especially at the tail end here, it started trading down. So it could be a mixture of both longs and shorts that are in here. I'm not entirely sure. I guess I'll have to wait and see once we start getting some breakup structures here to see how this happens, or to see where the liquidations lie. Looking at which exchanges are bidding, it looks like we're getting bidding pretty much across the board from Binance, from Coinbase, Kraken, OKX. Looks like Coinbase just sold off on the side here. Binance still bidding a bit. It looks like we're consolidating a little bit into some sort of accumulation phase, and it'll be interesting to check the Exocharts to see what that is looking like. Yeah, so it looks like at the peak here we had 340 million, 541 million here at the top here. Looks like that is this candle right here. Had a little bit of a sell-off. Let's see how aggressive that was. Selling climax here, 78 million sold right here, and we're kind of just hanging around here. Yeah, I want to see if this low can hold. Okay, this is kind of nice to see when you have a green candle with negative delta. That tells me that there was a lot of people trying to sell here, but there was enough limit orders to kind of make it close green, right? So going to be seeing how we hold, especially around here, right? Because if we break through this, right, if we break through that, then I'd expect obvious more downside. You could see this as a distribution event of some sort, where this was your up thrust and you're gonna trend down. But I guess we'll have to see when we make it down here, right? Because if we start kind of accumulating here, and in tandem with that, I start to see that futures starts bidding up a bit more, and the basis especially starts going up, then that would give me the signal that we're actually going to have a little bit of a move up higher, right? The question becomes like how much higher, right? Because you do have some positions here that can be mitigated. So it could just be like a simple retracement, you know, up to here, right? Or it could be something a bit more meaningful where, you know, you're kind of grinding your way up here and then you blast up a little bit higher. But that's where things become a bit interesting, especially after hitting these resistances. So we have to really see, or I have to see what the market is doing, what the market is telling us, and it's just this game of just being patient and letting the market make its move, like show where it wants to go. Okay, let's take a look at XRP really quick. I've been trading XRP. Let's look at CVDs. So very healthy spot bid from XRP. So XRP is looking still very strong to me. As you can see, futures though has been trending down. So it looks like futures has been primarily holding XRP down. You can see when futures actually starts bidding, like right here, that's when we have these runs up. So nice run up there. Okay. Futures started bidding here, nice run up. Okay, futures started bidding here, had another nice run up. Right now it looks like futures slightly bidding, although the overall trend for futures is down. It looks like we did put in a equal low here in the CVD, so I think XRP is looking like a very strong altcoin to me right now. Would eventually like to make it up to the top of this range here, but let me zoom out so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. Because basically we've been in this range, you know, you set a lower low here, had a nice pullback right here which took out that low. So would like to see us come to the top of the range at least, right? And then as a higher target, I think it's very reasonable that we can make it up here, assuming that spot continues to bid and futures continues to bid too. All right, let's take a look at open interest and funding rate. Okay, open interest has been slightly increasing. Funding rate is going down. So might be some shorts in here. Although with altcoins, I feel like it's a little bit more difficult to get signal from the funding rate and the open interest unless you see something super extreme, like unless you see like an extreme amount of open interest going up, right? Or going down, getting flushed. Otherwise, I just kind of look to see what Bitcoin's doing to kind of determine my bias for the altcoins, because the altcoins are going to basically, for the most part, do what Bitcoin does, but it's just an exaggerating move. Like if Bitcoin does a 0.5% move, an altcoin will do 1 to 3%, right? But again, not financial advice. All right, let's take a look at Compound. Okay, just taking a look at Compound. Okay, we came down to this right here to retest that. Let me zoom out really quick so you can see what that is. Yeah, so basically came down to the bottom here. Would like to enter in, would like to get a better position in the midpoint of this, right? Because we just kind of tapped into it. Compound is a tricky one. It kind of feels like it has a mind of its own. So we'll have to see, you know, if Bitcoin behaves, then it's very likely we'll come up to here, right? If Bitcoin just kind of consolidates, I could see Compound just kind of chopping around here. Would like to get positioned if we make a move somewhere down here. That would be ideal. But for like the real big move, for like a real face melter, it would be nice if Compound did make its way down there, right? But could play some scalps at least to the top coming down in here. Checking the CVDs. Okay, spot selling, it looks like, right? Futures is kind of holding the market up, so that's not good for big moves up. Okay, that does tell me, that gives more credence that these lows are not safe and that we're actually going to make it down here. The fact that spot is not even buying, right? It'd be a different story if spot was buying and futures was selling, right? Because if spot is buying, then that would tell me that there's actually organic demand here, and it may not even be that we make it down to the lows because you have some healthy buying pressure. But that's not what we see here. We see spot is selling, futures is primarily holding up the market. So if we do get a retracement of some sort, like if this is the high for Bitcoin and we are going to roll over, Compound might actually be a good one to short, especially if we make it up to here, right? Like if we clear this high, make it up here, might look for a Compound short, at least play to the downside right there, which would be, let's see, that would be negative 4% move. So not too bad. Okay, let's check. Okay, let's check funding and open interest for Compound. See what that's looking like. Okay, funding rate's pretty much flat. Open interest slowly increasing. Not too much signal there. Okay, let's take a look at Solana. End up going to our point of interest yesterday, right? And it's just been up only since then. Again, it's hit the top of this channel where I've had my exit my longs, and it looks like it did perfectly get rejected off there, just like it did these. I'm gonna quick check the CVDs for a little bit more of a bias of what is going on with Solana. It does look like spot is kind of going sideways. Looks like it is accumulating though, so that's good to see that it is trending up generally. Looks like futures has been primary flat. So I guess my bias for Solana is kind of chop, kind of oscillate back and forth. Yeah, it does look like Solana's accumulating of some sort. Let me zoom out just a little bit to see the larger time frames at play. It would be nice if Solana came and took out this low and maybe even had like a retest of this trend line at some point. But given that it is accumulating here, it would make sense for a little bit of a bounce, you know, if we do make it out of here. Okay, we could probably potentially get a bounce to, I don't know, something like right here, while still maintaining the larger time frame bearishness, right? Like you can get a squeeze up to here, you know, chop around and then continue down, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking, since we are seeing a little bit of accumulation here. I guess my game plan for Solana would be like, damn, it went up so much here, and the spot buying is like, it's very minimal. Like, I don't know. Solana might be a decent one to short as well. Maybe if we made it above this high, would start looking for shorts. Add alerts. So if we make our way back up there, start looking for shorts, would be, I don't know, maybe somewhere here as a point of entry. See, these rounded tops are kind of difficult because it looks like a lot of this has already been mitigated. Compound might be a better short today. It depends on what Bitcoin does, because if Bitcoin continues to bid, if Bitcoin continues to go up and we see the CVDs continue to trend up, like look, futures is already starting to buy, if this basis starts picking up, then I would fully expect that Bitcoin will continue up potentially, right? Because we have such a healthy spot bid. So if that's the case, then I don't even want to be opening up shorts. Like, I'd rather just look for longs and probably XRP, because XRP is the strongest amongst all these altcoins right now, but we'll see. Anyways, okay, that is my update for now. I will see you guys at the end of the day. Later. Okay, here is an update on how the trading day went. At the start of the day, it was actually right here, and when I stopped recording, as you can see, the price just pretty much went up only there. And this is Bitcoin. If we check the CVDs, you can see exactly what happened here. So the spot and the futures bid continued, and it actually looked like spot was leading the move up, which is why the premium is going down here. So yeah, this high got cleared, and then once we made a new high in here, we had kind of this chop up in here where finally we had a blow off top, a UT, and now we're kind of consolidating right here, looking for direction on whether or not we're going to continue up or go down. We did have a break of structure here, so if the CVDs start going down or start being flat, then I think it's more likely that we come down to clear out some of the leverage that is accumulated here. Otherwise, if the CVDs continue up, then it's most likely that we'll continue up, you know, and clear this high. And in this area, once we started to get some of the chop up in here, you can see we had our first big liquidation right here, which was looks like it was this wick right here, and then we had a second one right here. So you can tell that once we got to this area, there was a lot of people trying to short this, including myself. That's actually where I made a mistake trying to trade this. And then finally on our UT, we had another massive liquidations, which actually marked the top, right? We didn't quite make it up to the top of this structure, which is right here. We didn't quite make it up to these highs, but I think it's possible that we could make it up potentially as high as here if this squeeze continues, considering that we do have a good spot bid and futures is bidding. Right now it does look like spot is leading the market. It's kind of consolidating right now. It's up in the air on what is going to happen. Here is kind of my daily notes for today. So today was an all right trading day. I missed the ideal entry, which happened at the start of the day because I snoozed my alarm. So that is exactly what happened right here. So I should have been up at 8 a.m. If I was up a little bit early, then I probably would have been able to get an entry in here. But unfortunately I missed that, right? While I was doing my video journal during this period right here when I could have been trading if I had just gotten up a little bit early. Okay, so this is a lesson to take your sleep seriously. Your laziness costs you opportunities. Okay, furthermore, because I missed the ideal entry, I found myself trying to play the reversal, which is significantly more difficult to catch. This is where my string of losses occurred. I was trying to short the top and got stopped out trying to fade momentum. If you're going to play the reversal, it's best to wait for an official break of structure. So basically I was talking to myself on once this high got cleared right here, I started looking for shorts. I tried to short here. So basically the trades I took at the beginning of the day, they were shorts, right? I tried to short Solana and composition. It was just a bad idea to short Solana in general because Solana ended up actually exploding out of here, right? So I tried to catch a short like somewhere in here and I got stopped out and it just absolutely ran right past me. And then I started trying to short compound around, I believe, this area right here. I tried to short like around here, and also I tried to short like around here and got stopped out here. So I took 3 losses there, right? Not good, because I was basically trying to play the reversal since I missed the ideal entry in the beginning of the day. Now, if I had gotten a position here, I could have just like sat on my hands and kind of managed the position as we grinded up, right? Furthermore, I should have waited before I even looked for a short. I should have waited for a break of structure in Bitcoin, right? Because see how price is kind of grinding up here. I mean, you did kind of have a break of structure right here, but even then you make it back up to the top and you start making lower highs. This is like kind of what you want to look for, like a blow off top of some sort, and then like a really definitive break of structure that happened right here before you look for shorts, right? Not financial advice, of course, because this is just my personal trading journal, and that's exactly what I ended up doing. As soon as this break of structure came, I looked for a short in XRP, and I was able to get one in right here, right? Because you had this break of structure right here, and XRP kept grinding up. So once we did make it up here, that was just a perfect short entry. Okay, I did have a win. Okay, I did take a long in XRP, and that long I was able to get in right at the lows here. basically at the lows here. Once we had this break of structure, I saw I got a position right here. Let me see if I can have a photo of that entry. Yeah, you can see right in at the low I got an entry. So it was a really great position. Like I managed it correctly, but my target was not correct, okay? Because I was expecting XRP to come up to this high target, so I was happy to just hold it, right? Instead, I should have just targeted this local high, because what ended up happening is we did have this move up, and once this move up came, I moved my stop loss to right here, and I got stopped out in profit. So if I would have exited my position right here, that would have been a really good trade. And the reason why I probably should have targeted this local high is because if you just look at Bitcoin, you can kind of see that Bitcoin is beginning distribution, especially when you see these liquidations playing out, okay? I know in the moment it's kind of difficult to make that assumption, like is Bitcoin actually going to distribute or is it going to continue higher? Because if Bitcoin did really blast out of here, then obviously then you probably wouldn't have had this retracement. But I think because I was so late in my trading, because I was taking a late long, I think it would have made more sense to play like a short-term target as opposed to like a swing trade. Whereas when I first got involved in XRP, which was down here, it was more so a swing trade, right? But okay, back to the notes. Other notes I took today was a great example of bullish organic price action coming from BTC, since both CVDs were trending up and spot was leading. So yes, just looking at the Bitcoin CVDs, so we had this event right here, which tapped the POC. Okay, it's interesting how we got touches off the POC right here, and that comes from this little order block that's right here, right? If you take the fixed volume range of this order block, that is where your POC is. So it's really cool to see that we're getting taps here, rejections, got like a nice little accumulation structure that appeared right here, and then you retested it. And then this was the start, of course, of this really bullish price action. And you can see in the CVDs, once that happened, once that little spring there happened, or that structure test, whatever you want to call it, you can see futures started bidding substantially, you could see spot started bidding substantially, and futures was kind of holding the market down, which is why price was kind of trading sideways, right? If I zoom in here, you can kind of see that a bit more definitively. Spot trending up, futures kind of going down, almost flat, but there was a definitive change right here, once you can see both spot and futures bidding up, and the basis is going down. So this tells me that spot was leading the rally up, which is very good to see on organic rallies, right? If it was futures that was leading the rally up, right, and spot was kind of selling or going flat, that would tell you that it's kind of like an artificial demand. But since spot is trending up and that is actually leading this move up, this tells me that this is actually an organic, this pump is for real, right, and should be respected, right? It's not just some artificial nonsense. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but anyway, so the basis is trending down right here. You can see when futures, the bid in futures starts to pick up when the basis starts trending up and futures begins to lead, right? And it looks like futures begins to lead here around the time we get these liquidations. Okay, spot starts to lead a bit more. Now futures starts leading again, and then of course you have futures leading up into the UTAD UT event right here. And then on the selling, it looks like spot is leading the sell down because basis is trending up, right? It starts to stabilize a little bit, and now both the CVDs are kind of flat, but it looks like spot is leading, right, on this move down. So if we start selling off, I think it'll be spot that'll be selling off, but we'll have to see what happens here, right? We'll have to see. It looks like the basis is starting to trend up a little bit, so that makes me wonder if futures is going to start bidding a little bit to potentially come mitigate some of the positions here, or potentially continue up. But I don't know, we'll have to see what happens there. Okay, other notes, touches off the BTC order block POC, covered that. Okay, big liquidations for BTC marked the start of the distribution event. Okay, Sol exploded, yes. So let's take a look at Solana, because I was talking a lot about Solana this morning too. So this morning when we were talking about Solana, I believe we were kind of in this area right here, right? And we talked about this high. I talked about potentially looking for shorts if we clear this high, which is exactly why I looked for shorts here. And I got stopped out, not respecting the pump that BTC was having, right? Not respecting the bullishness of BTC at the moment. So Solana absolutely exploded here, and it actually hit this target that I mentioned at the start of the day, which was like right here, perfectly to a T. So now the question for me becomes, and I'll talk about this some more tomorrow when I do my video journal, is like, okay, potentially going for short here, you know, seeing how we respond here. Ideally, I would like to see like an entry right here and a long-term entry right here. Like it would be nice to come down here for at least a bounce, right? But for ideal long-term, long time frame entry, like somewhere around here for a more meaningful retracement to potentially like clear some of these highs. But yeah, Solana was absolutely killed it today. This huge move here. This what, 6% move. Let's take a look at the CVDs really quick on what that was like. Yeah, so we had this accumulation phase right here where both spot and futures were kind of flat, right? The basis looks like it's trending up predominantly, but once this rally really kicked off right here, you could see it was spot that was leading the rally since the basis or the premium is going down here. And then looks like the market was pretty much in equilibrium, spot and futures bidding about at the same rate. Once we get to the top here, you can see futures kind of starts leading a little bit more, and interesting enough, it looks like futures initiates the sell down here, and then they kind of interchange with each other. Not exactly sure what's going on right now, but it looks like futures is still buying, spot is buying a little bit. Big sell off from spot right here. I'm already in a short right now, so I'm not going to take this short, but this could be a potential short entry if we do make it up there. But obviously you have to be careful because, you know, when these coins are bullish, they can easily clear the highs. So notes here, XRP bullish also had a good run. Okay, so let's take a look at XRP really quick, coming back up here. So I might actually get stopped out. That's really interesting. Let me take a look at the basis right here. So okay, the basis futures started leading like way before this actual move came up. Right here, spot is still selling, so this is like a fake rally right here. It looks like futures is completely leading this move up. Let's take a look at Bitcoin really quick, because Bitcoin is probably doing a little bit of a retracement. You know, wouldn't be surprised if it made it up to here, but that's probably why XRP is going up. Could get stopped out. Okay, yeah, so at the start of the day, XRP was kind of hanging around here, kind of grinded its way up, right? And then we made it to the top, right? We cleared these highs, right? And XRP also did have a good move. This is like a 3% move. It did not explode as much as Solana did. Solana absolutely exploded, but XRP did have a good run. Like I said, it took a long right here, got stopped out right here. I should have just targeted this high. XRP did do good, but not as good as Solana, which is surprising because I was really bullish on XRP, but it looks like Solana was the play for today. Other notes, BTC very strong spot bid, strong buying from both futures and spot CVD. OI moon for Bitcoin. Okay, yeah, that's right. So okay, so for Bitcoin open interest did moon. Okay, so this is actually kind of bullish. This is really bullish because not only did spot lead this rally, but open interest is increasing. So that tells me that this is like a legitimate organic move, right? And the fact that open interest is continuing to increase, prices making higher highs. If we get down, if we take out this low, then I would probably look for a long position to play it to the top, because especially when you have the CVDs going up, right? Spot and futures bidding, like there's no reason to fade this, right? I think we are going to continue to go higher. I don't know if the OI is going to, how much the OI is going to get flushed. I think it's going to continue to go up and up and up until maybe we even get to an all-time high. Oh, we're already almost at an all-time high for open interest right here. Who knows, right? I could see us, if we continue to squeeze, I could see us really making it up here, right? Before having a meaningful correction back down and then sending our way up. Okay, that was a lot of talking. All right, that's it for this update. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.